Hi, welcome to the virtual parent teacher conference with me. This is a first for me. Truly, this is kind of crazy, but I'm excited. Welcome. First of all, I want to just thank you, parents, for being awesome as well as your kids. I sure enjoy being with them and seeing all the different things that they're doing and learning and it's awesome. It brings joy to watch them and to be able to see their eyes light up when they learn something. So thank you. I wanted to let you know that the dates I'll be available for this parent teacher conference would be Thursday, October 1st, 4 to 6 p.m. And if you need to see me outside of that time or conference with me, we can have Google Hangout, or if you would like to email, that's great. Whatever will work best for you, you could email me and let me know when would be a good time for you, and I will work that through. Um, I wanted to let you know some of the things that we've been learning. So for the seventh graders, if I have one of your seventh graders, we have CCA, or College Career Awareness. And we've been talking about what CTSOs are, which are basically student-led organizations, and what they can do for them and how important it is to be involved in school. So we've been also talking about what it means to be professional and what soft skills are and how we can refine as well as improve these skills so that we can have good habits as we are preparing for future careers. They also have been doing project-based learning, and in doing that, they're working together in teams and trying to critically solve situations. And it's been a great experience watching them grow by doing that. They worked on a SCCLA STAR event or competitive event called Food Innovations. And when they did that, they were given a pancake recipe and they had to change it so that it was plant based. So it was really fun to see what kind of pancakes they came up with. And then they had to think of it as if they were going to market it. What would they price it? Um, what was the findings what were the things they found out when people tried their pancakes in the class? And it was really great to see what they came up with and how it tasted, because there were some interesting flavors for sure. What we are working on right now is called a Trash to Treasure project-based learning, and in this project, they are taking an old T-shirt and upcycling it, and we have quite the range of things going on. We have masks and pillows and just all kinds of things. Even one of the kids is doing a pair of sweats. Yeah, scrunchies. Yeah, all kinds of stuff. So it's been neat to see them working on it. And then we're going to have a boutique, and the kids will get to um, purchase the projects they would want to, and so that way they will see what um, how marketable their project turned out and be able to talk about that. So that'll be fun to see. And then in the future, they'll be working on a toy for a child, and that will be made out of recyclable materials. So that would be the next thing to look forward to. For the seventh graders, these are the assignments that are on their grade right now. As I look at the whole classroom of students, these are the two that might be bringing down their grade. I have kids online that haven't taken the professional skill evaluation, as well as the innovations unit celebration. And the celebration's a quiz. So both of these are affecting their grades right now. And if they haven't done it, all they need to do is get online and do it. Um, with with the celebration, if you don't like your score, you can keep taking it until your score raises to where you want it to be. And so if that's affecting it in a way that you don't want it to be affecting it, then I would say we take the quiz so that it can bring your grade up. Okay? The professional skill evaluation is just to see where you're at professionally, like how the student did the project, how well did they do those soft skills, what they can do to improve for a future time. And so that's what that's about as well. All right, so now we're going to go to the eighth grade. So if I have your student and they're in the eighth grade, the class is called Facts Exploration Foods, or Facts Exploration B/Foods. We've been talking about safety, sanitation. We even had a real life experience of having to boil their water during the time when the city had the order to boil the water. So we had to do that in our lab so that they could do their dishes. And and so that was a real life experience that had great timing as we were talking about safety and sanitation. Um, We've also been doing measuring equivalence, understanding the importance of being accurate in measuring and why we measure the way we do, what standard measuring is. So we've been doing a lot of math. In fact, some of them have been really surprised how much math we do in this class. We're working with fractions and what those equal, and even doing a review from the past with gallons um, and quarts and pints and those kind of equivalents. Um, so that they can remember those things when they're working with food as well. We've been halving recipes, doubling by doubling recipes by practice, but as far as actually cooking double recipes, we haven't been doing that because it makes way too much, and then the kids would, yeah, anyway, we don't do double recipes very often because it would be too much and the time factor. um and then we've also, like today we talked about microwave oven safety, and they did a cake in a mug, or cake in a paper cup, and looking at the difference between a microwave oven cake versus a cake baked in the oven. And I was really impressed because none of them burnt their cake. Usually when we do that one, there's at least one kitchen that burns it, but they all did really well. So I was really proud of them for doing so well. Um, for the future, near future, we're going to be learning about how to use a chef knife properly and safely, and they're going to be learning cuts like mincing and dicing and chopping and the difference, and then they'll be making a soup and eating what they cut. So that's what's coming up in the near future. And then for next term, they'll be working on a preschool, teaching children about my plate, encouraging them to eat their vegetables and whole grains. And then we'll also be doing a free enterprise project where they get to create their own business. And of course, that business would be food related. So those are some things for them to look forward to. As we look at the assignments that the eighth graders have right now, um, the one thing that both my eighth and ninth grade have in common is these culinary labs or food labs. And as they do these, if they're absent or they miss it, I usually double up on the concept so that if they miss one day, they have a second chance to try to be there, and then they can make it up that way. That kind of helps when, especially when kids are gone. Um, and with the quarantining and things, I think it helps out some. But if you happen to miss two in a row, then you have to make it up and to make up for the grade. And so to make it up, all you need to do is look at the concept that was talked about for that day or for those days, and then find a recipe. It could be one that you've made before, or if you want to try a new one, and then you make that thing at home for your family, and then you send me an email with a picture of it, and how it connects with the concept. uh, One way to do it is through submitting it on Canvas, or you can email me. I take that too. I'll take either, if you have difficulty trying to submit it on Canvas. And then anything that was missed, and this goes for all the classes, if you missed an assignment, you have till October 12th to get that in. And I'm taking all of them because there's just been a lot of craziness with kids being in and out, and with quarantine and different things. So I will take all of them until October 12th, and then we'll go from there. I need time to go through it, so that's why I'm saying October 12th, even though the end of the term is a couple of days after that. If you have any questions or concerns, please contact me and we'll work it through. But this is what we're shooting for. Also, a reminder that there's homework in this class. Cooking at home is when your student cooks with you, for your family. And I emphasize family because it's different when you're cooking just for yourself versus your whole family. Preferably, it would be cooking using a recipe, not just pre-made things you put in an oven to heat up. Um, However, if you're doing things like um, cutting vegetables, or things like peeling potatoes, things that concepts, excuse me, skills that your student can practice on and get better at, that's what I'm looking for. And them being involved in the kitchen, that's what I'm really hoping for in this homework. That the more they help at home in the kitchen, the more they build the skills, the better they are at being able to practice them and feel comfortable in the kitchen. And so, but if there's any problems with that, or concerns with that, please let me know and I will work with you. All right, now going to the ninth graders. So in the ninth grade class, it's called Food and Nutrition 1. And in this class, it's similar but on another level, of course, because these are our freshmen. And so in this class, they were also talking about safety, sanitation, and serve safe. That's been the beginning unit, as well as the beginning standard that we start with because it's so important and we want to be able to serve safe food. So we've been doing things like sliders and Parmesan chicken, and having them measure, uh, to get the internal temperatures and to understand what they are and to know what they are. Um, we've been also working with measuring and how we measure accurately, and the difference between the different foods as we are measuring it. We've been working with halving and doubling recipes. Again, working with fractions, math, and food volume. We also in this class, um, do the serve safe test, whether they are doing it for their food handlers or not. It's part of the class curriculum, and students were also given the choice if they wanted to purchase their food handler's permit, and some have taken that. So I'll be ordering those hopefully in the next couple of days. Um, We've also been working with microwave oven safety. The kids have made uh, potato chips in the microwave oven today to practice the things we talked about in class. And then we'll be working with equipment and terminology. Again, this class will also be working with using a chef knife safely. They will also be doing different cuts, practicing that, as well as um, the food that they cut, making a couple soups with that way as well. Before the end of the term, we are going to do what's called a dietary analysis, where they will compare what they need versus what they're actually getting. And so they'll be studying my plate and being able to understand that better and how it pertains to their lives. And then for the second term, we'll be looking at nutrients more closely, learning facts about it, also creating foods from each of the nutrients before the end of the term, and doing what's called um, performance labs, where they need to show that they know all the things that we've learned in the past, and those will be like taking a test. Besides taking a written test that will be on the internet, they will also have to show what they know. So that's some of what they have to look forward to for next term. And looking at their grades, the one thing that stands out to me as far as what kids need to make up, especially because we had kids in and out, they were not ready when we took the Strand 1 test, which was on safety and sanitation, and the Serve Safe test. So several of them chose not to take the test when we took it in class, and because they weren't prepared, they hadn't done the work they needed to be ready for the test. So they worked on that, and then they would be taking the test, either doing a culinary lab or on their own. So I'm going to try to be wrapping those up with those that did not in the next little bit, so that their grade can improve before the end. But if you could encourage at home, that would be awesome. And then again, if they missed a culinary lab, they don't have to make exactly what we made in class, but if they can connect the concept we learned in class for why we made it, that's why we do what we do and when we do. So basically, like for example, when we did lollipops, we did it because of safety, because they're dangerous to make and they're very hot. So if they make something similar to that, they could fry something, and that would meet that standard as well, because frying is also dangerous, and they would have to show the skills of being safe while doing it. So all they need to do is submit a picture and tell me how that connected to the standard, and that would be basically it, or anything that they learned would be awesome to know about too. They also have cooking at home. I've extended the deadline to the 7th instead of the 2nd of October to give them a little bit extra time. And like I said, with the quarantining and different things that have been going on, I just wanted to give them more time. And they need to have at least 5 done by October 7th that they had done at home. And so if you could remind your student, that would be awesome. If you have any other questions or concerns or anything that could help me help your student better, I would love to hear about them. Please feel free to email me about that, or if we need to talk either by phone or email or whatever you need, we can do that. Just let me know, and I'll be more than willing to work with you. All right. Well, I hope that you'll have a great evening or morning or whenever you see this video, and that I will be able to help your student the way we need to go and please let me know how I can do that. Thank you very much and have a great evening.